I just want to touch on diversion programs and quickly on the A, B, C, D, E. Again, an A is a first-time user. They used it once, they feel the euphoria for the drug, and they sort of like it. A B is one that's had it the first time and they go to school one day and someone says, do you want a cone or do you want a drink? They hear a voice in their head, don't do it, and they hear the other one, oh, that's okay. It was great last week, remember? And I think, yeah, that wasn't bad. I fitted in with all these kids, and so they have it the second time. And I think they're not hurting anybody, but they are actually hurting somebody themselves, and through that person, the whole family over time is going to get affected. A C and a D is one where you start off usually on a Friday and a Saturday, then a Friday and a Saturday, and then it starts crawling into a Sunday. And then when it starts crawling into a Monday, you know, it's an every week pattern. You get work all week, get paid on the Friday, and you get on the juice all weekend. And then the Monday you're up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need to go to work in 2 hours, and so you've got to have a shot, you've got to have some gear. And that's a C and a D. People around them can see the C and the D. They're changing, their thinking's changing, their speech is changing, who they are as a person is changing. It's not the child that I grew up. And you try to tell that person who's using the drugs that they're changing, something bad's happening. But all they do is attack and defend, and they blame everybody else for why they are like they are. They can't see the problem, but everyone around them can see the problem. But it's like getting on a train. You use it for the first time, you get on the train. And the train, it starts picking up speed. It starts getting faster and faster and faster. The more you use, the faster the train goes. And you know you get to a point where you know what you're doing is not okay, and that's a D. You mean? But you don't know how to get off the train now. You've dug yourself a hole, you've set a pattern, you do it every day, your money's going, your finances going, your family's falling apart, and the train's going faster and faster and faster. You've enjoyed the ride, you've had lots of sex, lots of money, lots of parties. And then one day you look up and everybody's jumped off the train. There's no doors, no stops, no conductors, and this train's going 100 mile an hour. And the end always ends in a big finale. You hit the brick wall. You mean you're either dead, you're in jail, you're on the side of the road, you got nothing, and you ring your mum up or your dad up. Mum, I'll do whatever it takes to change. And your mum and your dad, they hear this voice, don't pick him up. And they hear this other voice, oh, but I can't, it's my son or it's my daughter. So they go out and rescue Bullfed, and they bring that child home, and the person sleeps for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days more. Mum and dad thinks finally they're going to reach out and get rehab help. And then 6, 7, 8 days, whatever the sleeping time that they've had, they get up, they feel good, they've rested. All you've done is rested them from an E back to a C. And they say, Mum, I just got to drop the phone off up the road. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And they're just going to get on again. And you do that a number of times, and you wipe out your mum, you wipe out your dad, you wipe out your mum, you wipe out your wife, you wipe out your grandma. One by one over the years, you're wiping off every family member until you got nobody left. And then when you hit the brick wall after many, many big finale train crashes, you've got no one left. You've got a hospital, you've got a mental hospital, you've got a prison, you've got a morgue, or you've got a rehab. And you've got a big problem. You've got a big problem. You've made a hell of a mess, 20 years a mess. All it's done is brought division in your family. Mum and dad hate each other, brothers and sisters hate mum for bailing you out. You've carried heaps of crime. You've done, you're at the bottom of the bottom. You've got 5 choices. Shalom House, well, we can't make you any worse than what you are. You've lost everybody, you're homeless. You've got 5 choices. The mental health hospital, they won't take you. They'll just fill you full of bloody prescription medication and kick you on your way. Hospital, they ain't got enough beds. You'll be out within 24 hours. Prisons will take you. Morgues will take you. And rehabs, they won't take you. They've got a 3 to 6 month wait list. I'll take you. But as long as you're an E1, not an E2 or an E3. An E3, they'll tell you whatever you want to hear to get what they want. They've dug themselves a hole. They can go to any doctor and tell any doctor what they want to hear to walk out with the drugs that they want. But what they want isn't what they need. But they don't know that. You don't know that. You haven't lived the life that we've lived. And an E3, again, you need to lock them up. Their prisons were designed for the E3s, not for the E1s or the E2s. E2s, they need to get doctors who are on the same page and know how those addicts think, and they need to work out what they need, not what they want. I'm not saying medication is bad for everybody. Medication's okay for people in short-term needs of crisis, a bit like Centrelink, but not for people to abuse. And they do it. E1s, you can tell an E1 when they're serious, you can tell an E1. I take E1s, not E2s. I don't take people with schizophrenia or on heavy antipsychotic medication. We're not a mental health hospital, we're a drug and alcohol rehab. this sort of message needs to get out there. We need to educate families on how to help an addict, not in the way that they want to, but in the way they need to. And we need to put a diversion program in Hakea Remand Centre and divert the E1s to one way and E2s to another way and E3s to another way. And we can do the same for Banksia Hill. But we've got to get everybody on the same page. I was part of the system for my whole life, bounced around from parole officers to community welfare to wards of the state people and all this. And all of them are all on different pages. And each one offered me something different. I just told them whatever they wanted to hear to get what I wanted to shut them up. And I wasn't serious about change. I just used and abused the system, and they thought they were doing the right thing, but in actual fact, they were doing the wrong thing. And the reason Shalom House works is that we have a psychiatrist on the same page. We have a psychologist on the same page, child psychologist, 16 counsellors, a doctor, all of them on the same page. And the home life, the work life, we work as a team, we act as one in the best interest of the 160 residents we have. We don't have one program, we have 160 residents. Now, what would complete our program if we could get the Justice Minister on board, if we could get the Police Commissioner on board, you know what I mean? If we got them on board, we would have a good holistic program. There's a lot of people who go to jail that shouldn't be going to jail. You know, but we need to work together, even when they go to court. I had one go to jail last week for 6 months, got sent because it was a mandatory prison term. He doesn't need jail. He was doing really good here, and now he's got to go in jail, and they're going to undo what it is that we've done. He should have just been allowed to remain in Shalom and finish what he started, not sitting in a prison. Please share our videos, and I'm going to be putting a lot more of them up. Thank you.